Okay, now in this lecture we are going to run our project on Android device. This device will be emulator, like a virtual device, how we did exactly with iOS device. So now I am going to go to the documentation of Android or running on Android. So the same documentation which we were following, I want to say target Android. So now if we go down, we will see the command where we are going to run the project. So we have created a project previously, as you saw, and now we are going to run the project on a device. But here there are some instructions we have to do first. So first of all, we need to create a physical device or a virtual device. In this lecture, I am going to show you how to create a virtual device. So we have to follow the instructions which are written here, and also maybe they will get updated in the future after recording this course. But now you can follow this instruction which exists here. It will be the same always for the future. So first, let's create a new AVD. It's called virtual device, Android virtual device. So first we go to Android Studio, as you see here, and we click on configure and then AVD manager. We click on it and we will have another window. And in this window, as you see, you can add your devices as you want. So there is default device which is used already in Android Studio, but we are going to use a default one or one which is recommended by React Native documentation. So I will click on create virtual device, and of course it will be a phone. Of course, if you are developing for tablet or for example automotive or TV, it will be different, but still the operating system will be the same. So now we are going to select one of those devices. So I recommend, for example, to use the Pixel 3 or Pixel 2, no problem. So you can have a proper sizing of your application. So now we click on next. And then as you see in the documentation, they said that it's better to use Q system where we have 29 image. So if we go to the Android Studio, we have to search for x86 images. We have to go for images, and then we will select the one which is called Q. This one we have downloaded previously, as you remember, when we were installing Android Studio. And after that, you click next and you give a name for this device, and you can choose if it's landscape or portrait, but it doesn't matter, you can change it during running time of the device. And then you click finish. After that, you will have the device is here. So now we need to run the device which we have installed. So after that, we can go here and we click on play button. So if you see this play button, then it's going to run the AVD. It will open a phone for you, virtual phone, exactly how we have done in iOS. The difference here that we have to run the phone manually here. And then we have to wait until the phone is taking off or it's launching. Then we have to do something to run our application on that device. So as you see here, we have now the device is running. Everything is fine. We have like a real phone. As you see here, it has camera, it has applications, and it's exactly like a real phone. So now we need to run the application which we have created previously with React Native on this phone. What we have to do first? First of all, they are recommending to find the device by AVD or command line of Android. So how we can do that? So for that, we need to make sure that really the device is attached to Android. I mean that React Native can see the device that we can run the application on it. So how we can do that? We can open a new terminal window in Visual Studio Code and run the command adb devices. So adb is like the command line which we have created at the beginning when we were installing Android Studio. So here when we run the command adb, it will have some options. One of them is devices. So when we click enter, we will see that we have Emulator 5554 device. If you don't see anything here, you have to make sure that you are running the emulator. Otherwise, you will not be able to run your application with React Native. After that, we need to run the application using also how we did previously when we were running or we installed the application. So if you remember, we had this command which is called npx react native run android. You can skip this step because this command is going to run this command automatically after that, which is like running Metro as we talked previously. So now let's run the command which we have, run Android. When you want to run iOS, you just replace it with run iOS. So let's run now the application. Again, it's going to build it and it will take some time until it runs the application on this device. You don't have to do anything, you just need to wait, and when it's finished, it will open a new terminal for Metro, and also you will see the application is created here. So I am going to put two simulators. One is the iPhone, which we made previously, and here the one with Android. And I am going to skip this video to make fast for loading and running the application. So as you see here, the building is finished and it's building the application on the phone slowly, and it's going to run the application, install it on the phone, and we will see exactly how we did with iOS. So as you see here, Metro is still running and bridging to the both devices. So now it's converting the JavaScript code to Android code and iOS, and it shows us this implementation here. So let's change something in the code. I am going just to make this smaller here, and then we can close this. And I am going to put, for example, a React Native course, and I will click Save, and we will see that the changes applied on both phones. So without any issue and without any problem. And as you see here, we have all the updates immediately, which is coming like hot reloading. So to see our application running, and we can do our changes immediately. So this is the way how to run the Android device. If you have any issues, you can go always to troubleshoot, which is located here in troubleshooting page. So here they were collecting some like common issues, and they are fixing them through this troubleshooting, which you need always if you have some issues. So that's it. You just need, if you have problem, just go to troubleshooting or ask me in Q&A, or you can also ask on their GitHub repository for issues, and you can open a new issue and they will reply to you about how to fix it. But I hope if you follow my steps, which I explained to you, you will not have any issues when running your application.